What's up? It is Way Up with Angela Yee. Man, this is really an honor because I have two celebrities in the building. I got Troy and Rashad from Earn Your Leisure, Assets Over Liabilities, InvestFest. They're here with me today. Let's talk about it because this InvestFest, what I love that you guys do is you get people that normally may not do interviews, you know, and just looking at this year's lineup. I mean, let's talk about it. The two people that are going to be headlining, Diddy and Robert Smith.
Yes.
Okay. So I want to discuss how you went about, because we talk about relationships and how important relationships are, but just being able to build those relationships where you have these guys. I mean, Robert Smith is the richest Black American, right? Period. Ever.
Keyword.
And he is headlining at InvestFest, and then Diddy is Diddy. You know, I know you on Revolt and all that, but you know, I was on Revolt. He ain't never headlined nothing for me. So let's discuss how you guys actually pulled this off and why you chose these two.
Well, I'll start with Diddy. Diddy is somebody, you know, it's a no-brainer. When we first started the platform, that was like one of the people that we wanted to connect with. When you think about Mount Rushmore for business and hip-hop, it's a couple people, and Diddy's one of those people, right? It's Diddy, Jay-Z. I mean, it's not too many. So he was always somebody that we wanted to connect with. And then, you know, having that relationship at Revolt, shout out to Dion, shout out to Detavio. But really, Dion, I got to give him a lot of credit because he was a strong advocate. Dion is like Diddy's right-hand man. He was a strong advocate for us from the beginning, always telling him about us, always like, you know, looping him into what we had going on. And then we finally met him. Our boy Lou Tucker introduced us to him. And we went to his crib and we spent a couple hours just talking, shooting the breeze, you know, just him getting to learn our story. He was always like very interested in what we had going on as far as like financial literacy business. Like he told us like it was something that he had never seen before in 30 years of hip hop, of him being in hip hop. He never saw anybody be able to popularize contracts, financial literacy, business, all of that. So he just kind of thought it was just an amazing feat. And he gave us his number. Like, there's Art Basel. Like, yo, if y'all got any problems with Revolt, if y'all need anything, hit me. And,
Detavio's not returning my call.
Bad line.
Yeah, for sure. But one of the major keys in life is that, you know, like Drake said, giving you my number, but don't hit me on no dumb shit. Like, that's actually a major key for anybody that's interested in business and networking. Don't abuse your relationships. So I never hit him. Until months down the line. And I just thought that InvestFest was a good idea. It all lined up. I sent him a text and I sent him a video of what it looked like last year. And then he responded right away like, I want to do it. And then we just started connecting the dots.
And then he was like, whoop, whoop.
Yep.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know what, though? Back to that advice about not hitting nobody on no dumb shit, right? I want to ask you, because sometimes people feel like when you get someone's number, you should, like every now and then, I saw what you did, just shouting you out. Like, not even that. I think,
you know, a little acknowledgement like that is cool. But I think when I say don't abuse it, like, I'm not going to hit him like, yo, can I get in booby trap with you? Okay. Or like, yo, can you send me some bottles for this event?
That sounded like that was on your mind, too. Like, you thought about that.
No. We saw him in there. No, we did see him in there.
Because you know, we had an opportunity because when we met him, they would go in the booby trap that night. So what we did, this is another gym. Like, he invited us to come with him. But we brought our own section, but we made sure our section was right next to him, just to show him like
we get bottles too.
No, we're not here to leech off of anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he when he saw that, he kind of respected that as well.
That's funny. I saw Diddy one time in Miami, and we were at Mr. Chow's, right? Was it Mr.? No, yeah, I think it was Mr. Chow's, and so he was there too, and so. The people I was with were like, yo, let's send him a bottle. I was like, we're not sending Diddy no bottle. Because, I mean
you don't have to.
Yeah.
You think we should have?
No, you don't have to. But I just think it's important just to let people know that it's you.
That was coming.
The bill.
It's important.
Thanks, Diddy.
I was always taught, and not even just that, just in general. Like I was always taught just to stand on your own too. Yeah. And there's so many people that try to leech off or like get next to another person. So our whole thing from the beginning was like, we respect what everybody has going on, but we're independent and we built our own platform and everything that we do like is on the strength.
Yeah.
So
that's true. I've been out with y'all.
Yeah. That's what I say. Even when this platform came about, right? It wasn't like, yo, Ange, can we be up here? It was like super proud of everything you've done. So it was like when the time comes, I'm sure that if we get invited up, we'll come and we'll bless the stage. But it wasn't like, yo, Ans, we need to be on the show. We need to be on the show.
I was like, y'all should come co-host for a day.
You did offer that, but we never had a follow up.
Let's do that though. We're interested.
You tell your people to hit my people.
Let's do it.
We know the point of contact now.
Okay, so go ahead.
So it was, I think that he just kind of appreciated that how we approached the situation, right? We never asked him for anything. So back to your question about text etiquette. It's okay to tell somebody that you're proud of them or great, but I don't think that you should just be hitting them up for just anything.
Right. I'm a fan of not, my first text to you is not an ask for something, right? But I'm more like, I will definitely like reach out like, hey, just saw you did this, congrats. And I'll really mean it too. You know, like I'll do that on social media. I like things, if I'm scrolling through and I see something dope, I'll be like, let me just double tap that.
And that's what we did actually. The first text I sent him was day after, like, thanks for the hospitality, I appreciate it. Like, because you just, you want to just make sure.
Booby trap.
But even before that, just going, you know what I'm saying, just being in the crib, just, he showed us a lot of hospitality. So I was like, all right, yo, thanks for the hospitality. But now it's back to work. Like, right. I know. This is the thing I never understood about the music industry. Like, people get disgruntled all the time, and they're like, everybody's fake in the music industry, and nobody's your real friend. I'm like, why would you expect people to be your friends? Like, we didn't grow up together. I know this is a mutually beneficial relationship for anybody. Like, if they're like, once you get cold, they're not going to answer. They're not supposed to answer your phone call. You cold.
If you can't be used, you're useless, as the saying goes.
Yeah, it's not personal. It's not personal. You just got to understand that, right? Like, I know that I didn't grow up with these. They're not coming to my baby shower. I'm not going to their kids' wedding.
And I just want to back that up a little bit because you can meet friends, though.
You can.
And I do think it's important sometimes because people feel like that, but sometimes where you're at in your life, later in life, and you meet more like-minded people, those might be the people you build a really strong bond with. Sometimes we have an allegiance to people who we grew up with, but you do outgrow certain friendships where y'all can still be cool.
You can.
But what you're on and what I'm on might be a little different. And sometimes, because I've made friends later in life. You said baby shower. Like my friend Melissa, she owns the restaurant and the grill. And her baby shower is coming up next week. And like, I'm really that's really my friend, but I met her.
But that's a real connection.
That's something that's been developed, right? Like a lot of times these people go into the relationship with that as the expectation. Like as soon as I meet them, like, we got to be cool. We got to be cool. And they try to force it. What you're talking about is something that's been developed over time. Like it's not like, even for us, it's like you have an event, you'll just shoot us a text. Oh, we just going to show support because we rock.
Showed up in Chicago to the craziest party in Chicago.
Because we rock with you.
You
know what I'm saying? That's what real support. So the more you do that, the more relationships can be formed. And now it's an easy ask when it's like, hey,
I can come to the baby shower now.
We can come to the baby shower.
Thank you, Troy.
No problem.
So, but yeah, I mean, that's how I just look at it. And also, it's like, I just think it's a more mature stance. Like I don't take things personal. I mean, and I don't have expectations for people. I don't expect to just meet said rapper and then he's like my best friend. Like, I mean, we have a relationship. We see each other. We might have each other's number, but I understand the dynamics of it.
Well, who have you guys met that you feel like, individually, like that really is somebody I consider, I might use the word friend?
It's usually the people that's next to the person. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard. And it's not even a knock on the person. But, like, I said, like, Dion, right? Like, that's a good dude. I talk to him almost every day. Okay. But I know I'm not going to talk to Diddy every day. Right. But he's the person next to him. Or Tabidi Stevens. He's the person next to Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey's a great dude. And I have his number. But once again, is he somebody I'm going to call every single day? No. He's not going to call me every day. But I talk to Tabidi almost every day, right? So usually it's the person that's next to the person who we establish like very strong relationships. But we got good relationships with everybody. Yeah. Like from
I would say like this for names, like Kenny Burns is somebody that we just gonna call. Like he'll just check up on us. Like, yo, Troy, I love you. Just want to tell you that. I don't know if anybody told you that this week. I love what you're doing. Like he's real like that. Like Tip is another person. T.I. Yeah. We just had when we sat down with him for the Assets Over Liability show. We just grew a connection. I didn't know he was investing like he said he was. He's like, look, I'm going to put you on a Zoom call with my family. You're going to teach me how to invest. Like, I know what I'm doing, but I want my family to see how you do it. And it's from that, we just kind of like every, a couple of weeks, he'll check in and see what I'm doing. I'm checking to see what he's doing. So, like, you build those type of things. But, again, it's never an ask. It's like, all right, I can add value. Great. If you can add value, great. If there's something that we can bond on as men and talk and build, great.
I love doing business with people that I'm friends with. I do. Like, sometimes it's hard, but I also like when we do, like, I did that building that I've been talking about with y'all for the longest, Assets Over Liability. And then it finally, everything has been going through. The building should be done in May. So everything is like on
Congrats.
schedule, the rehab and all of that. I was just there. I hit y'all while I was there too, a couple of weeks ago, picking out my flooring and everything. And so that is, but I love the fact that I did it with like, my homegirls. And so for me, that's fun, like to be able to be equally yoked with people and feel like we can all bring something to the table and get a deal done.
Yeah, I mean, that's the story of us, right? Like we've known each other
exactly.
for over 25 plus years. And so naturally, we are doing it with our friends. Like our other partner, Mike, I've known him since I was 5 years old. You know what I mean? So like we are doing it with each other, and which it makes it cool because it's somebody that you can trust. Like,
and y'all got the team at Dykeman. It seems like y'all be having a good time together.
we trying to restore the feeling.
Even though it's business and it's serious, it also is nice to have a good time.
It's encompassing of all the things that we about. Like we love sports, we love fashion, we love music, we love business.
I see the drip lately. Y'all be having like, listen, Rashad, we see you.
She's paying attention to the stories.
He be having the slow-mo videos, walking down the steps in the desert and stuff like that. I'm like, how did they get steps in the desert?
The desert steps is the key.
I mean, it's important, at the end of the day, you got to have fun with it. I feel like, so it's good to show people different sides and spice it up a little bit. So the fashion is definitely something that, can do that. And, just have fun. I feel like at this point in life, like, we already beat most expectations of what people would have. Pretty much did the impossible. What we did, almost. There's no odds to really describe the possibility of what's happened has happened. So you gotta be grateful, but you also gotta be appreciative of the moment and have fun in the moment. So we ain't going to New York Fashion Week. We in Abu Dhabi. We going to different places. Like this is something that we didn't really have in the plans. So we're gonna make the most of it for sure.
This is our offering.
Isn't it amazing to see where you guys? Because we met you. Y'all had already had years in, right? Just when we all first met. But to see where this has grown into and the partnerships that have been really important to growing your brand. But with all that comes more responsibilities too. So I want to ask you about that because this has been a topic of conversation is when you give people your platform, how responsible are you for those people that come on your platform?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to purposely give somebody a platform and then they abuse it. So you definitely have to, think about who you're giving a platform. But it's also a learning experience as well. Like, we didn't go to school for journalism and never had any mentor to tell us, like, this is what you do, this is what you navigate. So you're going to make some mistakes. You're going to make some misjudgments of characters. Some people you might think stand-up person, and then you find out that they're not. It's like being in a relationship.
Right.
You might get in a relationship with somebody and you think they're the best person in the world, and then they turn out to be a psychopath, cheating on you, all kinds of different things, right? On hindsight, 2020, you look at the red flags later on, like, damn, I should have actually noticed this, or this was a red flag, but you caught up in that moment. So yeah, for sure. I mean, it's definitely a thing, and I think now we definitely have become a lot more stringent as far as like, because it doesn't benefit us to have anybody on a platform that is going to have issues down the line. So, but it does happen, right? It's just like I said, I mean, it's like if you have a show and you're putting out content every single week, odds are one of those people is going to end up doing something.
Let me tell you, we definitely, I remember it was a couple that was on this reality show. And then they ended up like doing some scamming something or other like later on down the line. And they actually contacted us. I guess they're doing like some special on it. And so they were like, we want to be able to use this content. But, they were on a reality show. It wasn't.
Yeah, you didn't know who they were.
Right,
so, I mean,
they already had a platform.
That's something that you get to learn throughout the process. It's like the amount of responsibility that comes with it. That's something that we had to grow to learn. Like we were doing something that we thought was just adding value to our community. As we start to grow more and people start to actually apply the information and execute on the information, turn their lives around, I was like, wait, this is bigger than what we expected. And so, like you said, it's something that we're super cognizant about and have made changes to make sure that, everybody that comes on pretty much for the most part is vetted to a point where we feel safe with our community. Because at the end of the day, it's going to come back to us. And so we understand the responsibility, but I mean, that comes with the territory.
Now, another person you guys have at InvestFest is Rich Paul.
Yeah.
That is, and this is so funny that you're doing that because I thought about you, Rashad, with this because before Rich was in a relationship with Adele and landed that, he was single, and I was like, come on, we're going to do a show. It's called I Want to Get Rich.
You had it all planned out.
So we had it all planned out.
That's a good name.
And then, you had Earn Your Love.
That's
so those could have been like back to back, but I guess.
That's a fact.
It's our programming right there. We still got Earn Your Love.
But Earn Your Love still coming.
Yes.
But Rich Paul, so how did that happen? Because he does not really do interviews, but he's been killing it as far as being an agent. And I always felt like his story was amazing, and he has his book out now as well.
Well, we always get the people that don't do interviews. Like, rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. I got my marathon shirt on today. Today's his birthday. But one of the biggest things that we was able to do was interview Black Sam. And I don't think Black Sam has ever given an interview, like a real interview. Do you know of any other interview?
No, I don't.
So it's like, for him to do an interview with us was big, but that's because it's deeper than just interview. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even when we interviewed Terrence Crawford, like, we took him to Dykeman that night. Like, we spent time, it's just different. Like, we're not just come on our show and we just ask you questions. Like, that took years to cultivate a relationship with people close to him, and they felt trusted enough.
And you bet on him, right?
Well, Terrence Crawford, I didn't bet on him. Really? I thought he was going to win. I don't gamble. But I thought he was going to win, though. But I'm talking about Black Sam.
So I want to make sure you went on the record.
No. Oh, yeah.
Because he went on an apology tour.
I saw he was up here.
I definitely thought he was going to win. I didn't think he was going to win like that. That was crazy. But I definitely thought he was going to win. But I was talking about Black Sam as far as building a relationship. So same thing. I say that to say Rich Paul, same thing. Like, when we first met Rich, we didn't talk about, like, just coming on the show. Like, it's building a relationship. Like, how can we help Clutch? How can Earn Your Leisure help Clutch? How can we, form some form of alliance? How can we do business together? All kinds of different stuff. Then we see each other all the time at every party possible, and McDonald's All-American game, All-Star game, all that type of stuff. So after a while, he starts to see this isn't just a podcast. Like, he personally sees the value in it. And then it's like, all right, now that this makes sense. Like, this is an opportunity to speak on a big stage, like a festival type of vibe platform. He has built a tremendous business for himself. It's not just a regular sit-down interview. Like, this is a moment in time.
Yeah, and the first conversation we ever had with him had nothing to do with sports. It was about art. Right. They were having a Clutch event, and we got invited to a shout out to our UTA family, and he was just like, yo, I love what you guys are doing. But he would say, I want to talk about art. And I'm like, all right, great, let's talk about this. And then we had some commonalities. He's from the same era we grew up in. Even his book now, Lucky Me, like, that's one of my favorite Jay-Z songs. Like, that's the reason he named the book after that. So it was like, all right, well, let's build on that. But we just fostered that relationship over time. And again, it's about tagging the people around him. And so, yeah, we don't get to call Rich every day, but I know I can reach Georgia, who's is like his right hand. And so I can hit her up. That led to a relationship with Maverick. Right. So now you got Rich, you got Mav, and it's like, all right, well, we're just going to keep attacking the perimeter. Eventually, the other guy will eventually be sitting down with us. So it's about creating these relationships but making them genuine. Right. So, like, when we reach out, it's not for anything. It's really like, yo, how y'all doing? Everything's good? Y'all need anything from us? I bet. Let's support whatever you're doing. The book's coming out. Let's support it. How can we get it in the hands of our community? Oh, the sneakers will come out? Yo, send it to us. We'll put it up on the story so everybody knows that it's coming out. So, like, when we just continuously have genuine bonds, it's the reason why people stay around us for so long.
Or sometimes it is about asking, because I asked Diddy to come to Invest Fest, but it's not a charity. I showed him the video. He knew the impact. Look, everybody's in a situation where they want to benefit themselves, right? Us included. So when you have enough value, now you're in a position when you ask for something, if it makes sense, people are going to say yes.
Right.
So, that's something that we had to work to provide enough value add, where now it's not like, oh, come on my show and you're going to help me out. Like, look, this is 15,000 people in Atlanta. This is going to reach millions of people once it goes on social media and YouTube. There's no other platform in the world, live event like this for business, not just for black people, for any person, black, white, whatever. This is your opportunity to speak about things that might have be misconcepted and things that, people might have different viewpoints on, set the record straight.
Right.
Like, I'm saying, this is your opportunity. And
so you think he'll be talking about the Diageo situation?
He definitely. Diageo, the record contract.
You got some things you want to talk about.
Yeah, as far he has a reputation, obviously, right? And people have views on him when it comes to him doing bad business to artists. That's a lot of people think about that. Him with the Diageo there, they don't really understand why he's suing different things. So,
and for people listening, Diageo is the company that he partnered with for Ciroc and DeLeon. But now they've split.
Yeah.
Right, and
I don't think it's not officially split yet, but they are in litigation.
I
believe he's suing them,
yeah.
And he actually has. So there's three sides to every story, right? And when we spoke to him, he gave us some information that we wasn't privy to, and it actually opened up a whole new perspective on that situation. Just like I'm sure he'll provide information on the music business and different disgruntled artists that will change people's viewpoints. You can still think what you want,
right.
but it's at least
the
you
information
get the
is there from his mouth.
He gets to clear the air. Yeah.
It's not just one side being told. For a long, he never really told his story when it comes to business.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. For there's a bunch of those type of things, like whether it be from the spirits industry, whether it be from the music industry, but even from the fashion industry. Like we just saw him get Sean John back. Like we grew up watching that brand and loving that brand. What happened? And so that's the beauty of the platform. It's like, where's the other place for them to actually tell these stories, right? So for a guy like Robert Smith, who's our other headliner, a lot of our community didn't know who he was, right? He saw the value in it because he watched the Steve Harvey interview. Again, that goes back to relationships. If we don't know BD doesn't introduce us to SH, and then SH, who's a friend of Robert Smith, doesn't do the interview. It never gets seen. So when Robert Smith meets with us, he's like, wait, I love what you guys are doing. He's already studied us before we ever sat down with him. We get to show and highlight his career, and now it's like, wait, we should know who the wealthiest black man in American history is. And so now he gets to come back and give more information. And when you hear how he's grown his wealth and what he's done in the world of philanthropy, it's like, this is somebody we should be studying. Like, why are we not talking about this guy more? Why aren't we covering him more than we are? And so that's what InvestFest is about. It's giving the platform to the people from our community who are excelling but are not getting that type of coverage that they should, because it's inspiring. And it's inspirational and it's inspiring at the same time.
The other thing that you guys are doing that's great is there is a free component to all of this, right? So can you talk about that part of InvestFest too for people who are in the Atlanta area or want to come? Maybe you're like, man, I don't know if I can afford tickets, but I still want to somehow participate.
Yeah, for sure. So it's 3-day event. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Friday during the day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. is a free day for the public, and so it's registration for people that are going to InvestFest. You come, you get your lanyard, but then outside of that, we have a vendor marketplace with over 400 vendors. So you'll be able to, walk the vendor marketplace, shop with the vendors, talk, network, different things of nature, and then also Reform. Like the organization Meek Mill's involved with, like they're doing an event all day Friday, and that's free to the public as well. So they're gonna have different presenters. Ash Cash is interviewing Jim Jones. And it's a bunch, and then we got different DJ sets going on. So we wanted to give people, opportunity, especially for that reform, because that's something that's important to the public, and talking about criminal justice reform. So, we provided an opportunity for anybody to come for free on Friday, and then Friday night is VIP night, and then Saturday and Sunday is just a regular programming. So, I feel like it's an opportunity, and I also, it's always critics. People like, well, why y'all charging for this? But I never heard anybody complain about Beyonce charging for her musical talent. Like, or I never heard anybody say, like, why does Rolling Loud have 50 artists and they charge to see 50 artists?
Well, it costs money to put an event like this on, and you have to pay people who are coming also.
It's just common sense, right? But like I said, sometimes if you look from a negative standpoint, and this is why people are in the situation that they're in. And that's why I always tell people, the people that always complain about stuff like that, look, they're not where they want to be in life. That's just a fact. So from my standpoint, there's a variety of different reasons why InvestFest makes sense. Right. So a critic will say, well, I already know all the information, or I could just watch YouTube, or I got to pay to see somebody. All right, that's one way to look at it. I'm pretty sure that if you're in panels and different things of that nature for 2.5 days, you're gonna learn something. But let's say hypothetically you learn nothing, right? Outside of that, the reason why we became successful is not because of the information that we learned in school. It was because of the relationships that we made. So most of the time, you're not where you want to be in life because you don't have the relationships. So you don't think that if you're around 15, 20,000 people for 3 days that you're going to make a couple of relationships that could potentially change your life. So that's even more beneficial than the information. So no matter how you look at it, but like I said, we got to retrain how we think about it. You pay $150,000 for college and never ask a question, and you can't get a job. And now you're hassling about a $250, $300 ticket for a jam-packed weekend with some of the most successful people in the world. It makes no sense. But then also how I look at it is that I've never heard anybody ever say the NBA Finals should be free, or Beyonce should have a free concert, or Drake should have a free concert, or Rolling Loud should have a free concert, when we actually do put out content every single day for free on YouTube, on Apple, on Spotify, on Instagram. So if we do an event, obviously there's finances that go into the event, but then we also never apologize about being a business. So part of being an event is being a business, right? So it's not a nonprofit event. So
what you're saying is you have to choose between Beyonce and InvestFest. Come to InvestFest.
I mean, you could do whatever.
Beyonce has left Atlanta. InvestFest is on its way to Atlanta.
Yeah, you could do whatever you think is best for you in your future. But like
but
I
you're
said,
right. Networking is the word working. I always tell people that some of the best things that have happened to me have been because I've been places and met people, and sometimes it doesn't happen right away either. You know, you might think I met somebody, why isn't I hit them? They didn't hit me back. You have to really be patient. I think even for me getting started in radio, that was a relationship that I had to build and cultivate, you know, with Paul Rosenberg, Eminem's manager, throughout the course of years, for him to even say, oh, why don't you just try out on the radio? You know, but that was, again, a relationship that I had from being at different events, from even when I was in college and meeting Paul Rosenberg. He was supposed to be roommates with my brother at one point, you know, when he was living in Detroit and moving to New York.
My thing is, like, if you're not in a position, if you're not where you want to be in life, right, then you have to try different things.
Yeah.
Or you're going to be on the same recipe that you don't got to go to Invest Fest, but do something.
Yeah. Put yourself in proximity with people who are successful.
But that's why I wanted to bring up the fact that there are activities that are free, because there are some people that are like, I don't have, so there is a component to this where you can still come out
for free.
Absolutely.
But like I said,
patient with black businesses.
But then also, it might not be for you. Like if you live in a state and you like, I gotta pay. Even if we gave you a free ticket, you still gotta pay for a plane ticket. You still gotta, get a hotel room. So maybe we could have a virtual option. We'll probably drop that at some point. Or that just might not be for you. And that's okay. Like I just went to Super Bowl for the first time this year. I watched the Super Bowl.
Did you pay for the ticket or did you?
We did.
Yeah.
Woo, okay.
We did.
So, but what I'm saying,
I know that was a pretty penny.
But what I'm saying is that I never knocked the Super Bowl for.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo,
I gotta watch it
damn,
home.
When the time is right for me to get there, I'll get there. If the time is right. But I
feel you on that.
I feel like we live in a day and age now where social media gives everybody a platform. So the problem with that is that everybody has a voice, and everybody doesn't need to have a voice because, like I said, if you like me personally,
you're so harsh.
I mean, it's just the reality.
The reality is this though. Like the reality is like, what will it cost you if you don't show up?
But outside of that, but I just want to just finish this point. Everybody doesn't need to have a voice. When I was dead broke and I was trying to figure it out, I wasn't worried about what was going on social media. I had my blinds closed and I was locked in and I was staying up till 5 o'clock in the morning. And I didn't ask for help. I never asked anybody for help. I never complained about anything. Like I got off my ass and I got to it. Nowadays, it's like if you got enough time to criticize people and go on social media and you broke, I just don't understand that. And I never will understand that. Like for me personally, like, if the number one job is to take care of your family, you wake up every day, you figure out how I'm going to get money so I can take care of my family. After you take care of your family, then you can take care of your friends, then you can take care of your community, but you got to start with your family. So especially if you're a man, like how you wake up every day and the first thing you're doing is going on Twitter, going on Instagram, and leaving comments on somebody's page that you're never going to meet in life. Like you got to figure it out. If you haven't figured it out yet, you got to find ways to figure it out. So we can kind of dance around the issue, but when we look at the black wealth disparity, it's discouraging. 1.5%. You have a 1.5% chance to be a millionaire if you're black. That means that it's almost impossible to become a millionaire. 99% of the people that's black will not become millionaires. So I just don't understand like I said, me personally, I never could understand that because I'm not speaking from, a privileged standpoint. Like that's what I did. I had to figure it out and I figured it out. So if you can't figure it out, then you're wasting time by commenting and looking at somebody else and kind of like using that as, fuel for just commentary. Like you gotta, at the end of the day, you're still gonna be in the same position that you woke up in.
I always think that sometimes exposure, I remember being in college and dating this guy that was a very low-level marijuana dealer, but he would come to visit me in school and he was like, after a while, because he lied about his age. He was really like 27, but he told me he was 24. But he told me, he was like, man, I wish I would have like been on a college campus before this because that might have made me want to go to college. And sometimes it is like what you are exposed to and what's available, resources, because what you don't know, you just don't know. And so it is important to get exposed to different things and to associate with different people because when somebody puts an idea in your head, sometimes that spark alone can make you feel motivated enough to want better or to do something. But if you don't,
it's important. It's vitally important. It's the reason why I tell people, you have to see this in person. Like one of the things we're doing this year is we're bringing kids from our community down. Yeah. Because I want them to see it. Like two people that went to the same high school they went to, worked at the same community center, shopped at the same stores that they did, are now doing something in Atlanta that's incredible for our community, for the world, really. So I want them to see it. So we're bringing them down. We're bringing chaperones down. We're bringing, we got kids from Canada coming down. We got HBCU students. I just want them to see it. Just for that point that you said, right? Like, what could a panel or discussion or something do to their trajectory of their, future earnings or future career and lives? So it's like, we're very intentional about that and aware of it because we have kids and we know what exposure can do for them. I came from education. I know what it's like when they're in a building and you don't see anything but the environment you're in. It becomes a very small bubble and the expectations become very low because everybody around you, you look and you're like, well, what's the measure of success here?
Yeah.
Right?
And sometimes people down other people because they don't see it for themselves. And if they can't see it for themselves, they can't see it for you either. And so that is a mindset that we have to change. I even think about you guys on Assets Over Liabilities. You had Yo Gotti on, and it went viral.
That was
Earn Your Leisure.
Yeah. Oh, that was Earn Your Leisure. See, I always Earn Your Leisure. Assets Over Liabilities is the other show. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys had Yo Gotti on.
Yep.
And he was talking about almost
tax?
Yes, almost losing his properties.
Crazy.
Not knowing about paying his property tax.
15 houses, he didn't pay property tax for 5 years.
Yeah. Most people, especially if they don't have any education around the space, like you said, like I'm buying the house in cash. I'm not thinking about it again. I paid for it already.
Yes,
not really.
If you have a mortgage, that money comes in your mortgage payment. It pays your taxes and everything for you.
You got an escrow account and all that. But these guys, like, I'm buying it straight up. I own it. Well, there's a thing called property tax that comes with that. Every time you buy a home, that comes with it. Depending on where you live, the rates can be higher or they can be lower. But that's part of the home buying process.
Yo Gotti wouldn't know. You know what I'm saying?
Like he said, he was always smart in school. Like he wasn't a person that, like, he was a good student in school. He was smart. I don't think he actually even smokes. Like I think
he doesn't. He doesn't drink either.
Yeah, he's a straight A student.
Yeah.
So his thing was like, it wasn't like that he was dumb. He was smart. He just never was educated on it. Like nobody around him told him, like, you have to pay property. He literally did not know about property taxes.
Yeah.
And until he got the letter, like,
And to that point, you don't know what you don't know. And I mean, like for me, I have a condo in Williamsburg, and I had paid off the mortgage, but it had a tax abatement. And so I didn't realize I owed this much in taxes because the bill was going to the condo, but somebody is, renting it out. And then when that person moved, and they had been there for 2 years, I went and I had all this mail, and I didn't realize I had to pay.
Put a lien on it.
Yeah, they didn't do that. Oh. Not yet, but I just didn't even realize because it was also a tax abatement and everything. And so, now the money was due, and I was like, ooh, but I paid it right away. But I was like, oh man, imagine if, this person had continued to live there, I would have never even known that was happening.
Yeah, nobody teaches you, right? So like, where are you supposed to get the information from? Usually, like, you're looking to somebody in your family who's done it before, but a lot of times we don't have home ownership in our families. And so we got to go to the internet and try to find like reliable sources. You know what I mean? So it's tough. These are the type of things that we're saying, like, especially, the path that we're on, like, this needs to be part of curriculum.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Like, everybody has to live somewhere, but nobody teaches you about real estate. Everybody has to pay taxes, but nobody tells you about tax law.
And you guys have been making some big real estate moves for yourselves personally too, right?
We're doing some nice things.
Wait, y'all don't like talking about your stuff?
I mean, we could. I mean, we're building the homes. In our
that's
hometown.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of education that goes into that too.
There is, and it's important that it's our hometown, and so it means a lot to the community, but it means a lot to us. Like, a lot of people will tell you, like, you can never go back, but we never really left where we from. So it's important, again, for the kids that are from there, even the adults, to see, like, I watched 2 young men grow up to do something really incredible and still give back and are still here and are still accessible to impact the community in a positive way.
All right. Well, listen, you guys, InvestFest, is it sold out? Can people still get tickets?
They can still get tickets.
Okay. Yeah. They just missed that early ticket special.
For sure.
They definitely did.
For sure.
They definitely
did. For sure.
And congrats to you.
Oh, thank you.
I know last year you were part of InvestFest, which is with an incredible panel. And this year is Angela Yee Day in Brooklyn.
Yes, Angela Yee Day is August 27th, which is the last day of InvestFest. So I'm going to be... But next year, can y'all not try to coordinate with Angela Yee Day so I can...
We'll make it a part of the whole...
Because I had such a good time at InvestFest, and people come up to me different places and will be like, I saw you at InvestFest, like when I go out. And even my Assets Over Liabilities interview. A lot of people always...
That's a great one. That's a great one.
I thank God everything worked out because I had plans and I talked about it. There's nothing worse than when you talk about something prematurely and then they're like, what happened with that building?
Remember you said that?
Yeah. No, it happened, guys.
And you said you was leaving the Breakfast Club, too.
I did, yep.
And that did happen, too.
Yeah, well,
way
here
up.
we are. I don't know if I said said that, I might have hinted at it.
It was a strong hint, a strong suggestion. But we caught what was happening.
Well, here we are. I meant it. Thank God, because it's nothing worse when you're like, I'm about to do this, and then y'all see me, and you're like, yeah, what happened to the? Oh,
you're still there.
Nothing. All right. Well, you guys, again, love what y'all are doing, and always like welcome to come up here to come co-host. Maybe after Invest Fest, we can do something where y'all talk about some of the things that happen afterward, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of clips circulating, and so we can get more in depth on those things.
Let's do it. Let's do it. It's easy.
Thank you.
All right.
For having us. Always.
Thank you, guys. You can find them at Dykeman too. Anytime you want, they have their team at Dykeman. They brought Terrence Crawford up there.
That was the first time he's ever seen street ball in his life.
Really?
Yeah, it was like a whole process of like explaining it to him and the rules, and he was like, I think I like this.
See, if he would have been exposed to that earlier, he might have been a street baller instead of a boxer.
This is true.
You never know.
True. Exposure.
All right, it's Way Up with Angela Yee, Troy, Rashad. Thank y'all so much.
Love.
Way up.